Okay, here's a new rule for us. So this is something I want you to be thinking about when you do analysis going forward. The rule is for the subdominant. It's the 4 chord, right? The rule is, well, before I say the rule, let me explain why the rule exists. Remember the function of the subdominant. The function of the subdominant is to lead us to the dominant. That is what it is. That is what we expect it to do. Remember, way early on, we talked about expectation chords, right? Chords that we expect to go somewhere. We like the 4 to lead us to 5 in some way or another, maybe with something in between, but the 4 leads us to 5. If the 4 does not lead us to 5, then it is not functioning in the way we expect. So the rule is when we see a subdominant sandwiched in between 2 tonic chords, like we have here, tonic, subdominant, tonic, and that subdominant is in any inversion, doesn't need to be a 6/4, can be in any inversion, but it's sandwiched between 2 tonic chords, that is not functioning like a subdominant. So remember our discussion earlier of kind of our 3 main areas: tonic, predominant, and dominant, right? The 4 is a predominant area. And in this case, it is not functioning as a predominant, right? It is functioning as an expansion of the tonic. Think about those 3 areas and which one this chord best fits into in this context, right? Right? Does that fit best into a predominant area? Like, no, that doesn't feel like a predominant area. That's tonic area. So regardless of the inversion, even if we did this, is this a predominant area? Still no, right? What if we did it slower? Still no, right? It's still not feeling like a predominant because it's just going right back to tonic. So we're going to call this still in the tonic area. What if we were in a minor key? Okay, we're now in F minor. Still the same, right? Still not predominant. Let's go back to a less goofy inversion. Right? That even more so feels to me like an expansion of tonic. So when we're thinking about these expansions, think about how an individual chord is functioning given those 3 options: tonic, predominant, or dominant. Which one is it functioning in, right? So in this case, this is really functioning as an expansion of tonic because it's definitely not a predominant and it's definitely not a dominant. So we should label it as such. Now, let's talk about how we can label things going forward because we're getting into chords having multiple names. We did deal with that over here where we called this 1/6/4 instead of a 5. But now I want to introduce kind of a different way of notating stuff to keep things for this particular situation and situations like it. So let's go on to a new video and let's talk about some new notation things we can do for analysis.